What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Monday Night Wars. This is Brett Mix here, 182nd episode of Raw in its history. This is week 54, coming for you on the USA Network from the Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Raw took place on October 28th, 1996. Ratings for Raw were at 2.0, Nitro at 3.9. WCW wins for the 18th week in a row and well by over a whole point this week. After Nitro's victory, the scoreboard is now 17 wins for the WWF, 35 losses for the WWF, and 2 draws. And after this week's loss, the total scoreboard, again, 17, 35, and 2 for Raw. The show opened up with Austin breaking Pillman on Superstars, breaking his leg. In a preview and interview with Bret and Austin is still to come tonight. We had Double J Jesse James taking on Salvator Sere in the opener. McMahon points out that it's the real Double J Jesse James because he can sing Bye Baby Tonight. Takes on a forgettable gimmick in Salvator Sere. Double J, who is Tom Brandy. Double J and Salvator Sere with a hip toss to James. Salvator Sere sent him out to the floor. Double J Jesse James came fighting back, and Salvator Sere posed as he got some defense in after each defensive move that slowed down Double J Jesse James. Salvator Sere managed to pose. James knocks Salvator Sere to the barricade, and Salvator Sere gets in the full Nelson. He reverses that into a pump handle slam, the same way that Road Dogg hits the pump handle slam. Double J Jesse James does. He's the same guy. That's his victory, and he gets the win. 4 minutes in, the real Double J does. I rated it a star. Doc Hendricks runs over the Survivor Series card, but Stone Cold Steve Austin's live in the studio and it intimidates Doc. Gets up in his face with his new attitude, which is a lot more aggressive in recent weeks. This is the new Austin that we all became to start to love in his feud with Bret Hart. Austin was doing very, very risque shit and was really pushing the buttons. Crush with Clarence Mason versus Aldo Montoya. Jim Ross comes on, joins the commentary booth that has King and Vince. But Crush hits a back body drop and a hard punch gets Crush the win. A basic squash match, half a star, as Crush with Clarence Mason defeats Aldo Montoya. After the match, Crush attacked a security guard, and attacked a security guard after the match, and they replay the ruse, the hoax, where Perfect and Helmsley set up Mark Merrow last week and then took the Intercontinental title from him. Gorilla Monsoon, Mark Merrow were all swerved. Austin then says, "You gotta be ribbing," when they go to his studio for a word from Stone Cold, and they count him down and say, "We're out of time for a commercial in 3 seconds." And Austin goes, "You gotta be ribbing, what the beep beep." Austin tells McMahon to shut up on commentary once they get back, and Austin he wants him to explain crippling Pillman. Austin then cuts a wonderful promo on Pillman, the WWF, Bret Hart, McMahon, and everything else on his mind for another 5 minutes. I could quote a bunch of cuss words in his attitude, but I wouldn't be doing it justice. It was just a great promo. You have to see. Sonny then comes to the ring and sits on the King's lap and gives him a kiss. Billy Gunn takes on Freddie Joe Floyd. Freddie Joe Floyd, a common jobber in the WWF. He hits a drop kick and an arm drag takedown. Bart comes to the ring as we have seemed to see the end of the Smoking Guns. As Bart comes to the ring and argues with Billy, Sonny calls Billy the better looking gun, and has a nicer smile. So that's important. Freddie Joe Floyd, meanwhile, in the ring with a drop kick to Billy Gunn, almost got a near fall until a hot shot by Gunn clotheslines him over the top ropes back to the canvas floor. Freddie Joe Floyd and gets a leg drop by Gunn and then a free count by Gunn. So Billy Gunn beats Freddie Joe Floyd. I rated it a star. They go to a split screen here with a simulcast with Bret Hart from his home in Calgary with Steve Austin live from WWF Studios. They try to put makeup on him, but Austin scares the makeup lady away. Bret's sitting comfortable and he seems very confident and cool. Bret says, "You're looking at 12 years. It's took a toll, and Austin is a great wrestler." But Bret says that we'll see who kicks whose ass on November 17th. And then Austin is making every little facial expression, almost to the point of comedy, where Austin's making every single facial expression in the book to Bret. Stone Cold then tells the production assistant that you don't count Stone Cold down, and throws him into a giant ladder and bashes TV monitors. McMahon says Austin's completely out of control. Austin then told Bret, win or lose or draw, he'll always be on his ass. That's what Austin said. Shawn Michaels with Jose Lothario taking on the British Bulldog with Owen Hart and Clarence Mason. Owen on commentary is always gold. So far, we've seen Austin on commentary basically all night because he's been live from WWF Studios. And now we see Owen on commentary, so that's just gold. Austin is his new character, and Owen with his hilarious self. He says that Shawn Michaels is nothing because he doesn't have a slammy. Off the ropes, Davey Boy Smith with a standing side headlock, displaying his power before slamming Michaels to the canvas. Michaels catches Bulldog with a Hurricane Rana and then clotheslines him over to the top to the floor. The fans scream for HBK. Clarence Mason tries to get the Bulldog back to the match as he went for a walk. McMahon calls Shawn Michaels' charisma unreal, and Owen says, I don't know if it's unreal, but he sure loves himself. Bulldog is disgusted with HBK, says Owen, and that's why he's going for a walk right now. And Vince is saying he's a coward. And then Shawn Michaels is called disgusting by Owen Hart. Bulldog and HBK square off again at the by the side ropes, a leapfrog, and then a drop kick. Side headlock takedown by Shawn Michaels, really wearing Bulldog down. Bulldog tried every counter in the book, but Shawn still had a side headlock on him. Then a hot shot to the Bulldog. Davey Boy Smith cornered by HBK. HBK goes for the crucifix, but Bulldog ends up hitting a Samoan drop, which gets him near fall. Owen says the count was too slow. McMahon says the cops have been called in the WWF Studios for Steve Austin. A sunset flip and a clothesline by the Bulldog. McMahon sees that WCW are getting creative with the NWO and all the places they go, so why not have Austin live at a studio, and why not have the cops called, and why not go to Brian Pillman's home next week? That's what Vince is thinking. See, this is what's so great about the Monday Night Wars. They just keep trying to one-up each other. Michaels gets up and Bulldog gets a back body drop, and then in the corner is Irish whipped and slammed to the canvas. HBK goes for the elbow drop. Then, knowing that Sweet Chin music is coming up, Owen Hart jumps off commentary table, grabs Shawn Michaels' legs in the corner, and they ring the bell. Owen and Bulldog double team Shawn. The WWF Tag Team Champions are double teaming until Psycho Sid comes to the ring as the fans cheer. Sid clears Bulldog and Owen, and then Sid and Michaels back up into each other. Shawn pushes Sid. Sid pushes Shawn back as they get a little bit of a conflict here between two friends that are going to face off at Survivor Series for the title. Owen's so confident that they don't like each other that he cuts on the microphone and says, why don't we take the title match? Me and Bulldog will put the titles up against you two. And then Sid and Shawn, give each other a fist bump and say, sure, we're on. So I'm not sure if that title match is next week or if it's up in the near future, but it's in the near future. Probably next week. Also next week, there's a face-to-face with Shawn and Sid. That does it for the matches portion of the show. The show closes with HBK and Sid pushing each other, going face-to-face. McMahon says, how are they going to coexist versus the Bulldog and Owen? I know that's a bad impression, especially that one, but a little stuffy. Owen challenged them on the mic after the match. So we're going to have that tag title match next week. And then they cut to WWF Studios where Austin has clearly assaulted a number of production assistants. And he's talking trash to the cops, saying that you can't arrest him because he's Vince's star. This episode scores a quality rating of 5.5 out of 10 because Stone Cold was on most of the show live from the studios. So he talked on most matches. Plus you got Owen Hart on commentary, which is always gold. Bulldog and HBK had a pretty good match. Austin and Bret had a good back and forth interview from their respective places. But other than that, the few things, the show had its usual jobber matches that could be skipped. This show was shows that they were trying, though. It showed a little bit of attitude. It had some creativity. So it was a bit above average, hence the 5.5 rating. Raw, TV-wise, we all know 3.9 to 2.0. And Raw's 18th loss in a row, so nothing looks good that way. But, again, Raw, 5.5 out of 10 quality-wise. They did a pretty decent job on this episode. So that does it for this review for WWF Raw on October the 28th. We'll see you next week for November the 4th, 1996. I'm Brett Mix. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying the Monday Night Wars. And we'll see you next time on the next Raw review. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out.